These are 5 things that surprised me about the Tangerine. Surprise number 1, step count. The Nanobox Tangerine has 256 steps. That's a lot of steps. And when you're building songs and song structures and you want to avoid things getting too boring, too repetitive, it's great to have 256 steps to add more variety to the bass loops that you're working with. I don't always use the full 256. Maybe I'll use 128, but I love having the option. All right, this next surprise is how much I like this sequence home feature. So you get 16 slots. So you can have 16 patterns, 16 sequences. Those sequences can be up to 256 steps long. And because it's laid out in a grid, I like to think about it in song structure, and each of these is pillars. So this first pillar on the far left, this is where I like to put my intros and any fills that I'm going to do. The second pillar is where I put my verses. And this is important. I like to make variations of the verses to keep things from getting boring. The third pillar is where I'll put my pre-choruses and my choruses. And then finally, the last pillar is where I'm going to put outros and breaks, bridges, any kind of middle 8, if you will. Surprise number 3. The reverb and the delay sound probably better than they have a right to. I love the sound of these. Check this out. To my ears, those sound great. You don't have different delay types. You have one type of delay with a ping pong option. You have one type of reverb. But they sound so good that I use them all the time. Next feature I love is the LFO per pad. So there are 8 pads. Each one has its own LFO. That LFO has a bunch of waveforms. You can adjust the rate. You can beat sync it, which is key for me for everything I do. It has depth, and it also has a restart so that when you press the key, the waveform will restart. You can take these waveforms and point them at a bunch of different things inside the Tangerine. So everywhere where you see these 3 little boxes, that means that you can assign some kind of LFO to it. So we're going to choose the filter, and we'll start at 60. We'll give it a little test. Then we're going to hit play. And what's going to happen is you'll hear it subtly at first, and then we're going to crank it up. Sometimes the navigation gets a little tricky. You'll get used to it, I promise. Nice. All right. Last thing I'm going to talk about briefly is how deep the sample editing options are in this. So you get a lot of choices. You can treat it as a sample, a clip. It has its own slicer, which you can set a threshold on. You can do a new recording. You saw us do resample earlier. The other things that it has a loop mode to be either forward bidirectional. It has a reverser. You can fade the loop out. You can edit the start length and the loop start and endpoint. But check this out. Look how deep into a sample you can go. It's almost granular. It's so cool how you can take things sometimes that are non-musical and make them musical. I'm going to have a video coming up in this series that's going to do exactly that. We're going to take a very non-musical sound and we're going to make a track out of it. There are more videos to come. See you next time.